Hi, it's David Shummy at Fix the Frame again, and I just thought I'd quickly film this thing that I'm making. We kind of should have started filming it earlier on, but we were trying to work out how to actually build a frame for this necklace that has been brought into me. And what we're trying to do, or what the part is, this is actually the internal box, and the client actually brought this suede. It's actually not a suede mat board. We've wrapped a piece of suede fabric around the board, and they wanted it to float. It's for an interior decorator here in Sydney, and the problem has been that the length of the chain has been shortened by the bishop that used to wear this, and so we had to somehow have the chain go up and into the board somehow. And so what we did is we first of all we made this oval board here and wrapped it with suede, and then we inset it through a hole, and we've wrapped suede inside, and now I've actually finished the back and I've put suede on the back, and then I actually made a hole so that this extra piece of chain could come through and will sit inside the backing. Now the client has requested that they could get this in and out of the frame, so we're having to do some quite on the fly unique fittings to try and hold this piece quite safely and securely in the frame, but then allow the client to get it out if they need to. So we were thinking of making a hinged box, but again, as usual, we're under some quite heavy time constraints, and this has to be ready to go down to Sydney this afternoon. So it's now about 2 o'clock, and we have to have it in the client's hands by about 4:30 so they can get the 6 o'clock flight down to Sydney to deliver it to their client. So they haven't had it, I haven't had this until just about an hour ago, and what I'd done is I'd made this part this morning because I knew it was coming and I was given the dimensions. And so we'd made an external frame already and fitted some metal brackets because we wanted to be able to, the glass is already fitted in there, and we've bonded it in and we've sealed that. So this is the front of the piece, and then it's going to sit over and be screwed into place. So when it's eventually done, it will sit in this box and hang like so. Now the point that I'm up to now is I've got to actually fit this this necklace to the frame, or to fit it. So I've managed to tuck it in, and I've tucked it through so the client will be able to get that out. But now what I'm going to use are these little mighty mounts. Now they're a small plastic fitting, and they come in different sizes. One of the other challenges that I've been asked to accomplish is because of the angle of the top piece of this necklace, they would like it to sit up off the backing. So I'm going to use a slightly higher mounting block than what I would normally do to hold this in place, and then they'll be able to take this piece in and out of the frame. I'm going to build it up. I've already made a couple of holes here because the way these things work is they just actually go in and they plug in through a hole, and then that will sit and spring and hold the actual hold the necklace in place. So this is actually the suede the client provided, and on the back here I glued a piece of actual suede mat board. So this is suede mat board stuck onto the back of the board, and I drilled a little hole just in here with our mat cutter so that this chain could come through, because this is the excess piece of chain that we don't want to have a problem with. So then I'm just going to cut off so what we do, just going to get them in position. Going to sit up in there. You have sort of different height ones and different spring loaded ones, but I'm using this slightly higher one, even though I should really use a small one. I'm using the high one because they want it lifted up, and then I'm going to work out what I do underneath to try and get that space. And so these little plates are going to go just straight in. just like so. To actually lift this up, what I'm going to try to do is I'll put a felt bump on underneath, and we'll try a couple of bump-ons actually. We'll just see whether it gives us enough height. We might need to make another one, but this is going to, when it goes in, it's going to fit in here, and you have to actually pull the little leg back a little bit just to get it in. On the back here, normally on these sections, we're going to actually put those small spring washers. Now to do that, I've got to remove the item, so we'll put them on. And these springs, they actually hold that little mighty mount piece in place. Now often you can cut them off, the back side of them off. You can cut the back of them off with wire cutters. I don't really think it'd be necessary in this case to remove them. We've actually got a void inside this area here, so they won't contact the wall, and we could actually put a backing over that entire piece, but I think they want to actually be able to see the chain there, and so that's quite presentable with the suede and even leaving the plugs sitting on the back. If you wanted to, you could actually put another backing over there just to conceal that. Just want to check. I'd actually marked these before. And so that originally the client wanted this to be a hinged box, but it was a little bit too short time to construct the hinged mechanism. So what we've done is we'd made some metal plates that will enable them to unscrew. So we'd siliconed and mounted the glass in position. So this is how the piece is going to sit. And what I'll do is I'm just going to turn it over. And then just manually I'm going to put some screws into the end of the frame here. That'll hold it together. So they're already pre-drilled. I'd put this piece together before just to check that everything was going to work. And I didn't really want anything to show from the side, so what we've done is top and bottom, we've left everything off the side of the frame. So the side of the frame is black. This is not obviously the ideal frame for something that deep, but this matches one of the other paintings that the client has in their home, and they particularly liked that style. And so the interior decorator that we're working with on this job had specified this design, and then we've just had to make it work, which is sometimes a challenge that picture framers face, is getting given jobs that are slightly challenging. So what we have the chain hanging out the back here. I probably will put that on a hook or so, fix it in some way. They want to be able to see this, and they actually want to be able to get it out, so I don't know whether we're going to put another piece of acrylic over the back so they can actually see that piece on the inside. But on the front we now have the actual chain mounted and the piece sitting in the frame, and it's really quite an impressive work. And we just put some 20 kilo wire there for the time being. Yeah, it's quite funny. We were talking to our client about this job a few weeks ago and the challenges that would be involved in getting it done. The actual piece belongs to a relation of the bishop who has since passed away, and so it has great sentimental value to the person, and they wouldn't actually allow it out of their sight. So what has happened is they've flown up from Sydney this morning and brought the work with them. We received an email outlining what was required, and then we had to make it on the fly today so that they could put it back on the plane with them this evening. And I think we've actually achieved quite a good result, being able that they can take this piece in and out if they so desire. It's archivally presented. There's no damage done to the work, and it matches the other framing that they've got in their home. So I think under pressure, and we've come in with about 2 hours to spare. So I'm just going to go and have a coffee, and I'll give them a call and get them down to come and have a look. We'll see you next time.